about sobriety. And so you've been sober for 2 years. And so
there'll be 3 in July.
I mean, that's a huge part of longevity for me. I've noticed I'm almost 3 years sober, not continuously. I had two minor little slip ups, but I mean like 3 years cumulatively of sobriety. And I've noticed so much of how I do it. I started doing it for one reason after hitting a rock bottom. And now I'm seeing how it's also like there are all these things that are coming out of it that I didn't expect, which are one of those things is I just feel better. And I feel like I'm keeping my youth in a way by not engaging in debaucherous drinking.
Yeah.
So what's the story for you with getting sober and staying sober?
Sure. It definitely was part of that, like that kind of we were talking before with like decision making, drumming, wanting to achieve things. So like I was like dabbling with this idea, like maybe I won't drink, maybe I won't drink. And then it also relates to a lot more of like, I guess I was like growing up in like the hardcore scene. It was like you had your like Youth of Today's and like straight edge was definitely a thing. Like, so it was always there. It was like a very big thing. And I loved all those bands and I like really liked it. So it was like a thing in the back of my mind along with being vegetarian, all this kind of stuff. But like, it didn't come out until later. Like, and so like those bands, and actually like one day, even when I was really younger, at first I was like into like Face to Face, 7 Seconds, Gorilla Biscuits, H2O. And someone asked me, like, are you straight edge? And I'm like, no. And they're like, well, that's your favorite bands. And I'm like, I didn't even know. Like, I didn't know that they were all like straight, yeah, not like in that world. I didn't even know. I just loved their message, positivity, PMA, like this whole thing that I just didn't even know was me. I just really liked drinking back then, but I loved that PMA and that like that world. So then when it came to drinking, I just I went out. I got wasted one night. Nothing crazy. Didn't like do anything bad. But I woke up the next day and I'm like, today's it.
Wow.
And I do things like cold turkey. Like I woke up one day and I was like, I'm gonna stop eating fish. Like, and like if I plan it and tell people, it won't happen.
Right. But
I know myself.
Just do it.
I just have to do it and say it to myself, and then like start holding myself accountable. So that was, and I definitely started with like, I'll just do it for like a week. And then like a week turned into a month. And then the more and more people started telling me like, you'll never do it. And I'm like, I'm in. And I'm like, doubling down on like, not drink, like not doing it because of them not believing in me, but like doing it because of like, no, that's like, that's interesting. That was my journey with it. And then just like things started like more like time opened up. And at first I was still like going out, like I still wanted to hang out all the time. But then I'm like, it's still counter to why I stopped drinking. Because I was still wasting time. Not wasting time being out with friends, but like, I don't need to be here anymore. Like probably those nights where, you go out.
You have the clarity to say the party's
done.
I can go home.
I'm good
now.
here.
No,
like I saw friends. I can go home.
I was social. It's 10 o'clock. People are getting a little tipsy. I can just peace out and go work on what I need to work on.
And then I can always I always was the driver too. People started wanted to hang out more because I drove. I'm kind of kidding, but not. But like, but then I was also the ride home. So now I can leave whenever I want. My life is in my hands even more now.
Great, yeah.
So now I can
really
like
see that.
I can just do whatever I want whenever I want because I'm not.
Yeah,
drunk.
and I also think there's something to be said about those social encounters you have sober are more valuable because you remember them. You're not losing yourself. You're not saying things out of like, having like being under the influence. Like I think things are more meaningful and you're more perceptive to different things that you get out of these hangs, like when you're sober.
Yeah.
And I definitely experienced that myself too. And so you started to see these positive things come out of just being sober. So it sounds like you just kind of stayed in it because you would see your life unfold.
Doubling up. Just like more and more things are happening, more and more dots are connecting. I'm having more and more time. I'm doing things more. I did have a few friends. Like I just went cold turkey. I didn't do like anything. I didn't go to like meetings. I did nothing. Right. I just like stopped.
Right.
But I did have a few friends that like were sober as well. One for 7 years, one for 10 years, one for 30 years. And we're actually like partners in a brand together. So it was like people I was around that like I finally, so they were like kind of sending me messages, like not like once. My friend John sends me messages every day. Kathy even called it out. He sends me messages every day. I get a message like a script. He sends a message out to a group of people every day. And it's one of the most comforting things I have. Like
Everything. I have a similar kind of thing.
It's
Yeah.
really, really cool. Whether he knows it or not, I'm hopefully he'll listen or see this, but he knows it, and I thank
So amazing. That's everything.
Yeah,
the community
it's
that
the
comes.
little
So
thing.
community that comes
Yes.
with running, the community that comes with music, and the community that comes with sobriety. It's everything. And I think that I have a lot of reasons to stay sober. My life has changed for the better, but I also having people like even today, I wake up and I have a text, hey, I'm getting a chip at a meeting, like someone that's in my chat or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Gonna, celebrate this milestone in sobriety. I'm like, yeah. And like, that makes me want to stay sober because I'm like, I want to stay in this cool club of like, us supporting each other, of being our best selves versus whatever else, but that's great.
The sober world feels like it's always kind of been around. Like it's in all the subcultures I've been in. I just wasn't part of it, but it's been a thing. It hasn't not been here, like been around me. I wasn't on that. So I didn't like try that side of things.
Yeah,
so it's,
and you also can like retroactively look back and see that and go, oh, there were like I can look at myself and I'm like, oh yeah, I had a roommate who was sober and that's interesting that they were that close, but I didn't really know to like go into that club. But
it's like like being around.
There.
And then now I'm enjoying it, and I think, I actually like love the taste of beer. Like I love drinking IPAs. I still do athletic. I will say like athletic. Yeah. I got into it like heavy. I actually so I got into that. I was like slamming those, and I still drink them all the time. But like, and there's plenty more now. Like 3 years later, like every brand. I was just at Brooklyn Brewery the other night. They have their
all the NA.
All the NAs is like a huge thing now, and I love it. Brewed off from London. Like I like love all these things. Like ordering them online, it's really easy because you can ship it. But like I still like drinking beer. People think I'm weird. They're like, it's empty calories, and I'm kind of like, I don't care. I still like it's like, I don't know, but I don't want to get drunk. I do like elevated drinks, seed lip. I love like making nice drinks with elevated experiences.
And like make it your own.
Like,
and I've noticed too, like it's so much more accessible to be a sober person these days because of these brands coming out with the 0% alcohol. And so it makes it a little bit easier. And I also think it's a little bit more respected than it ever was. Like people get it. If you say I'm not drinking or I'm sober and you don't make it a thing, I think other people are like, okay, good for you. And whereas I think maybe it wasn't so much the case maybe in previous generations, but yeah, no, I've just noticed my life unfold in such positive ways that it's almost like the pros definitely outweigh the cons, or like I see so much validation in daily life with it.
You're doing this like things that you've had. That's awesome.
Just being perceptive and having clarity, like that's everything. And even just like laying my head to the pillow at night knowing that everything that I did that day was something I chose to do and it wasn't like under the influence or something.
Or missed that day.